Today's session, what you're going to be listening and hearing from me is going to be mostly about the scalping and why scalping is something which can be suitable for option buyers, especially. Many people, like in the market, even in my scenario, when I joined and when I was started to trade and other things, I was trying my luck in all different things. But many of you would have had an experience of losing out the money. Why? In case if you have been losing out money, especially if you're an option buyer, because we are always going to be against the time value. And that's not going to be an easy one for us to take a trade when the market is not going to be rewarding you holding your position for a long time. That has been a biggest problem for many. So that's the main reason why I chose scalping. So what is scalping, first of all? Scalping is nothing but like an wherein you take a quick trade. When I say quick trade, you will be entering into an index options or index futures. You'll be taking a quick trade wherein you get in and get out within a time frame of 1 to 30 minutes. When I say 1 to 30 minutes is the maximum holding period which you can think about holding a particular trade. But in terms of holding a minimum trade, it can be even for 30 seconds to 1 minute. Many people, if you'd have been gone to like a prop desk, or if you've heard about proprietary trading and other things, there you would see a lot of jobbers. Scalping is something similar to jobbers, but here it is not going to be we are not going to be punching in the orders all through the day, similar to the way the jobbers are going to be doing. Even here, as a scalping, that doesn't mean in between 9:15 to 3:30 you needed to be trading, you needed to be punching in your orders all through the day. That's not the ideal way to do it. Even as scalper, you needed to set in certain rules. You, though you are going to be a discretionary trader, you needed to set certain rules and follow them with discipline. Okay, let me tell you, as an option scalper who will be doing a multiple trades, you will be looking at in a smaller time frames, like 3 minutes or 5 minutes, rather than looking at in 15 minute or hourly, who's going to be looking at for the positional setup. If you're on scalper, look for a 3 minute or a 5 minute trading time. Most important thing, if you're just following scalping, try to stick to that. Don't try to do in a morning, in a scalping, and then become a positional trader after some time, and then become an investor in by the evening. That's where many people lose out. Why? You make money in one particular arena and then lose out in the other arena, which is ideally not a good sign. As a scalper, stick to that. If you wanted to become a scalper, 90% of you would not be able to hold your position once you buy it, right? When you will be holding your position, when the things are going against you. When the things are going in your favor, 90% of the time, what we do, once we see a 10, 20, 30 rupee profit, we immediately book it. The reason is we don't have the patience to hold our position. That's exactly the problem with many traders, and that also been a problem with me also in the past. That's the reason I decided, okay, what that suits me, because I know I'm an impatient trader. I can't be holding my position for the whole day, and moreover, if I'm going to be holding my position for the whole day, I'm going to be giving it to the sellers the maximum money. The reason is more the time we are going to be holding it a particular position due to the theta and then due to the time value, you will be seeing the premium getting eroded. And one important thing which I was not even looking at is going to be the IV values, because IV plays in a direct role in terms of how the premiums is going to be moving, and in terms of determining and telling you whether the buyers are coming in or not. On a day like today, many people would have made good gains if you are a positional player, especially if you are an overnight player. The reason is the market gapped down and then the market was keep on falling. As a scalper, today is in a very, very tough day. The reason is once the market started falling, you will be not having a zigzag move. It is going to be making a new low every 15, 20, 30 minutes, and it will be keep on falling. In that kind of a scenario, you would be looking for it to come to a support level or for the resistance level. In today's scenario, you would be definitely looking for a resistance level on the way upside when the market was bouncing, especially near to the super trend or to the VWAP. There is an opportunity for us to scalp. Those are the things which a scalper will be looking for a small opportunity. Most important thing, when you're entering as a scalper, create a perfect trade setup. What is a perfect trade setup? You cannot be keep trading between 9:15 to 3:30 just because there is plenty of 3 minute candle which is going to be available all through the day. Doesn't mean you needed to be keep trading for all the candles. Look for a perfect entry. What is a perfect entry for me? This is something which I've developed over the years. What is that? I will be looking for like a BankNifty or a Nifty. Whenever you see a perfect candle, I see it as like in the third candle. On 2 3 minute candle, if I get 50K volume bar, two consecutive volume bars of more than 50K for BankNifty, and then the third candle will be my entry. Okay. So, what are the things which I needed to look at when I'm looking for a perfect trade entry on this particular setup? I'll be looking for the candles to form above the VWAP, and then the VWAP, the super trend need to be below. Most important thing, it has to fulfill my volume parameter of more than 50K. I would be looking for the RSI in case if the market is going higher. I would be looking for the RSI to be between 50 and 75, but below 80. And the most important thing, I needed the open interest to be showing me whether it should be a long buildup or a short covering. When all these parameters are getting fulfilled, then yes, I will go and take a trade on the third candle, keeping my stop loss at the first candle low. Why the first candle low as my stop loss? The reason is pretty simple. Imagine the first two candles have been bought by someone. Someone has pumped in so much of funds into the market. Why they needed to pump in the funds? Because they are expecting the market to move higher. That's the reason they are buying something. When they are buying the futures, naturally, automatically, they would have pumped in like an almost 50 or 100 crores before the time you come and put your money. Because we don't play with a large capital. We play with like in 5 lakh, 10 lakh, maximum 1 crore. That's the kind of capital with the retail community who plays in the options market. When they are doing it, you needed to know whether there are some large players who have come in and put in their monies. Once you can see that, yes, these guys have put in money, then we can enter on the third candle. Sometimes you will feel like an entering on the third candle, we would have missed like in part of the rally. Yes, you would have missed part of the rally. As a scalper, my intention is not to win the war. I wanted to win the battle. If you're a positional player or if you're like in a day trader who wants to buy in the morning and then sell it in the evening, then yes, you would be looking to completely capture the entire rally. But the typical scalper, what he would do, he would go in a particular trade, make some quick gains of 30, 40, and 50% or like in 50 rupees in a particular trade, come out of it pretty quick. Don't try to hold your position when the things are going against you. Most important thing, when the market is like in moving on the third candle and you're entering on the third candle and the first candle low will be your stop loss. Imagine the market is trying to fall. Okay, the fourth candle, the market is falling and it is almost coming into the first candle low. If it is coming to the first candle low, not only you who are going to be losing the trade, the guy who would have put in the money on the first two candles, imagine the kind of money that he would have deployed because he would have pumped in more than like an 50K quantity on each and every candle. So naturally, he would have deployed like an 100 crore. When it reverses back, he would be losing much more. So here, we are betting with the big boy who has pumped in the money in the first candle and the second candle so that we can participate in the third candle. 90% of the time, the trend will be moving in case if this happens in the morning. And even today, you just go and look at the Nifty chart or the Bank Nifty chart, you would be seeing the market started falling. And then after the third candle, whenever they are pumped in the volume, you would be keenly seeing that the market has been steadily falling. Yes, I forgot to tell you for the Nifty, the volume that I'm looking for is 125K. So for Bank Nifty, it is 50K. And for the like a Nifty, I wanted 225K volume bar on the futures chart. Okay, so how did you get this 50K and 125K? In 2016, when the Bank Nifty weeklies came in, I was looking at the volumes. The average volume that I needed to fulfill was somewhere around 5,000 quantity. But in the last, like in several years, in the last 5, 6 years, you would have seen the market volume, the turnover on the FNO space has increased multifold. In fact, something which used to be having an FNO turnover of like in 3 lakh and 4 lakh crore daily, we are currently seeing today, I believe it was close to 68, 70 lakh crore. 68, 70 lakh crore. And on expiry days, nowadays we are seeing close to 1 lakh 50,000 crore. So this volume is going to be keep on increasing. In case in future, if I find, yes, the Bank Nifty volume on two consecutive bars has increased to 75 or 100, I will definitely keep posting in my like in Twitter timeline and also in my Telegram channel. But at this current juncture, in the last 6 months to 1 year, which I'm monitoring, 50K bar
Shiva sir, I think your voice is not audible, sir. Again the same problem. Twitter space. Just stay on the session, sir. Just a minute, everyone. Just stay on the session. I don't know what is the issue in this Twitter space. The more the members are coming, Twitter space getting crashed. Just a minute. Let's see. Shiva sir, let the Shiva sir get reconnected again. Is my voice is audible, sir? Make sure to just type an I5 if my voice is audible to everyone. Am I audible to everyone? Make sure type an I5 or just any 100 marks. Just make sure, just a confirmation, small confirmation. Okay. Just everyone just stay on the session. Let me just check what happened. Shiva sir has got disconnected. Meanwhile, traders who are in the session can stay connected in the session. Okay. Okay, Shiva sir is back, sir. Shiva sir, am I audible, sir?
And a minor disruption from my internet. I hope you guys are able to hear me loud and clear.
Yes, yes, sir. Clear enough, sir. Go ahead.
Sorry about that. Sorry, where did I got disconnected? Any rough like an idea? Because
no, even I got disconnected, sir. You are speaking about this two candle concept, right? The volumes. You are speaking about volumes.
Okay, great. So, talking about the volumes, what we have done here is, as a scalper, you needed to understand what suits you. There are certain people who will understand, yes, I will be able to play option buying. There will be few people who will be saying, no, I can play option buying in positional manner. I will be able to play BTST. I will be able to do SGBT. But the important thing, don't keep changing your strategies or don't keep changing your pattern in terms of what you needed to do. That's the best thing about being in a particular one wherein you can get a consistent result. A scalper should make sure that you needed to understand what is the strength. You needed to know, okay, I have close to 1 lakh in my account today. I needed 1% return from the market today. So in order to do that, what should I do? I should ensure that I have a perfect trade setup, enter, exit, make money, and then stay light. Rather than keep on doing the whole day like a continuous trade. I can proudly say today, in case if even if you're a best option buyer or a best player in the market, if you'd have been holding your position for the whole day, you would not have been able to make sufficient amount of money. The guy who would have entered in the morning by around in 132, if he'd have shut his systems today, he would have definitely be walking home with profit. And today is a day wherein you would see many of the option buyers, for them, this is the best day, but they would have lost in the bigger opportunity on a day like this. Why? They would have bought it in the morning. Imagine you would have bought in 35,500 put or 35,000 put. And if you'd have been keep on averaging or like an adding some positions through the day, by end of this, like in the first half, like in the market was rewarding you. But through the second half, around like in 132, the market started to do a reversal. Once the reversal has started happening, they would have definitely lost whatever the money that they would have made in the morning, and they would have got into the revenge trade. What is a revenge trade here? Imagine you would have entered in the morning, made around like in 10K or like in 15K, whatever it is. After some time, once you see the profit going down from 10K to 8K, you are not still realizing that the money has come from the market. You are realizing that you have lost something which you have already gained. In the process, you are not even looking at certain data which you needed to look at, and you will be keep on averaging it. And the bigger mistake is when your winning position is with only like in 2 lots or 4 lots, your losing position would be at with 20 lots. So what is that which you have done? You already lost all your profits, and in the process, you are also started averaging without even realizing that you have deployed more capital than what you have allocated for the winning trade, and your losing trade will have like a much bigger drawdown. This has been a problem with like a many traders. Why? Especially on the option buying or on the selling, they don't stick to their discipline. A scalper should be aware about the fund allocation on each and every trade, understand the market dynamics, how much is the volatility, and what is the specific time frame where I needed to enter and exit. Most of the traders needed to understand, especially option buyers, the best time for you to trade is going to be between 10 and 2. Do not try to like and fight with the market after 2 o'clock, especially on Tuesdays and Wednesday afternoon. The reason is that is the best time for the sellers to steal away the premiums. And if the market is going to be in a consolidation zone, when the IV levels are going to be similar to 2020, 25, 30, I think today it was around like in 30. When those scenarios are playing out, that is the best time for the sellers to erode the premiums. So never ever fight with the sellers when it is in their den. When I say it is in their den, especially after 2 to 3:30, that is a time if the market is not having a trending move either on the upside or on the downside, you will see the maximum premium erosion happening on days like Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays. So try to avoid it. And another thing, order execution plays a very vital role for scalping. You needed to understand that, like in people think that no, I can enter and exit faster, but you needed the proper platform for you to do it. Some of you would be comfortable with Zero the Kite, some of you would be comfortable with Nest. Whichever platforms gives you the best, like an user friendly application, try to use it. As a scalper, your intention is to get in, get out. So, what is going to be important? The trading platform is also going to be equally important. So, focus on that. Not only this, then the next one. So, what are the other important areas where a scalper should be focusing upon? Always, when you're getting into the market, beginning of the day, come with a clear mind. This is what I wanted to accomplish for the day. Never ever exceed or never ever let yourself down when the opportunity is available to you. So the most important thing is beginning of the day, if I have a 1 lakh capital, okay, I wanted to get at least like a 1,000 rupee target achieved for the day. So in order to achieve this 1,000 rupee target, what should I be doing? I should not be like in taking any trades unless and until my setup gives me an opportunity to take a trade. So what is my setup? 2 consecutive bars of like in 50K on the BankNifty, 2 consecutive bars of like in 125K. If the market is trading higher or if the market is moving higher on the futures, I wanted to see whether the market is like a moving above the VWAP, the candles are above the VWAP, super trend, and most importantly, the RSI is between 50 and 75, and whether the open interest is either in the long buildup or in the short covering category. If all these parameters are getting fulfilled, and if the global markets are supportive like the Dow and other things, you can go ahead and buy on the third candle. Then the first candle low will be your stop loss. And once it is above your buy price, imagine you're buying it on the third candle. The market immediately moves up and your option premium goes up like in by 10, 20 points. Then the most important thing as a scalper, what you needed to do is try to trail your profits. When I say trail your profits, first and foremost, you needed to protect your capital. Capital preservation is going to be the most important element of an option buyer. This is a common mistake many traders do. What is that? Even though the price would be like, and whatever the price, say for example, you would have bought it at 300, the price would have gone to 330. You would have kept your initial stop loss at 280 and you will stick to that. Never do that. Once it is above your buy price, once it is like in 20, 30 rupees, when you're buying in the money or at the money, when it is above your like in buy price, just place it above your break-even price. When I say the break-even price, imagine you are buying it at 300, your brokerage cost, your transaction cost, the SEBI cost and everything would cost you around like in 2 rupees or 3 rupees per trade. In that scenario, keep your stop loss at 305. First and foremost, you are going to be protected against whatever the move that is going to be happening. Even if the prices comes down, you're not going to lose it. Even if it goes higher, you can keep trailing it. My intention is to get 1% intraday target. So why I say like and keep coming with the market with the target in mind. In the past, what I would normally do is, as an option buyer, there are days I would have made like in 40% return, 50% return. There are days where I would have lost 80% of my capital as well. Why I do that? The reason is I think that like, and I have been employed to do a job between 9:15 to 3:30, and I keep trading for the whole day. That's the biggest mistake many people do it. Just because you are a scalper or a trader doesn't mean you need to trade between 9:15 to 3:30. You can only trade once the opportunity is available to you. Keep putting this in your mind. Though you might have the best setup in the world, you might have the best knowledge in the world, but when it comes to trading, it's your execution which plays a major role, and the execution will come only when you are confident and consistent enough. If you are going to be keep taking a trade on every candle, you will lose out that opportunity to think, should I be taking the next trade or not? Your mind will start to question yourself. That's not the ideal way to do it. That's the reason you come into the market with a target. And the most important thing is let the target be proportionate and reasonable to the capital you have in hand. When I say proportionately reasonable, imagine you're going to be looking at someone's M2M and comparing yourself. That guy has made 25K. I also needed to make 25K today. That guy would have made 25K with like in 10 lakh capital or 15 lakh capital. But if you're like in trying to achieve the same target with 1 lakh capital, is it going to be possible? For him, it is going to be 1 or 2%. For you, it will be like in 25%. So never ever compare yourself with others M2M. Think that like an okay, this guy has achieved, I also needed to achieve. Is risk appetite, is risk management, is capital size, positioning, everything would be different compared to yours. So keep that in mind and never try to have a mindset that just because he has achieved, I also needed to achieve. We would have made this common mistake. Okay, just we are getting motivated by so many M2Ms, which is going to be flashed across the like in Twitters and everywhere. Guys, consider that as an inspiration. When I say inspiration, okay, if this guy is able to make it, I should also be able to make it. If this guy is able to make like a 1% ROI, I should also be. Take it in a positive spirit and work based on your capital rather than looking at others M2M as a reason for you to compete with them. You're not going to compete with them. You're going to compete with yourself. As a scalper, that is the most important thing. So if you're not going to think like that, then it is just like a playing in a casino wherein you will just keep betting against what you do not know, and then you will lose out big. Next one, how to interpret the data. Data interpretation is going to be the key important element of a scalper. You needed to be updated about whatever the news which is happening all through the day. So in my scenario, I like can look at the news channels. I look at the like an what to say the web feeds, look at the Twitter feeds. When I say Twitter feeds, I will be monitoring the first quack, the red box, whatever the feeds which is coming in from various news channels, various like a news portal across the globe. There are Reuters and then the CNBCs and AFPs and Financial World and everything. Similarly, on the Indian side, like, and you needed to look at like, and what are the results that is going to be there? What are the events that is going to be happening? Major events, whether there is going to be like some budget news or like in some finance news which is going to be coming in from the finance ministry. Whether the PM is holding a meeting, whether like and there is going to be a post-market announcement, whether there is going to be a result announcement which is going to be happening during the day, whether there is going to be some bonus issues or like in shares that is going to be like in what to say splits which is going to be announced. All these things, when you're trading in a particular element, you needed to look at. And another thing, don't look at so many things to trade. Okay, when I say so many things in terms of and there are people who trade on Nifty, they trade on Bank Nifty, they trade on in stocks, they trade on crude, they trade on USD INR. Then I will not have a focus. That is a mistake which I used to do it. Later on, what I did, okay, this is not working for me. What should I be doing? Then started focusing on one particular element, which is the Bank Nifty. Why I prefer Bank Nifty? Many people will say in Bank Nifty is highly volatile. As a scalper, that is the best thing that could have happened to me. Why? First and foremost, I'm looking forward to capture 20, 30 points. And I mostly trade on in the money. When I trade on in the money, something which is going to be trading at 400 or 500 rupees, when the market gives an opportunity, all you need is just one single candle for you to capture the 20, 30 or 40 points. Imagine if I'm punching in 1,000 quantity of Bank Nifty at 35,500 put. What if it is around in 400? In a 3-minute bar, you would normally see sometimes the Bank Nifty can move 100 points. If it is moving 100 points, the option premiums on in a 400 strike can give you 40 to 50 rupees. I can easily make in one particular candle 30 to 40K. That is exactly as a trader, I wanted it for one particular trade. So as a scalper, you needed to look at all these things, plus stick to what is suitable to you. So I'm not recommending that all of you should be looking at only in Bank Nifty. Try to look at Nifty as well. If you are a newbie, who wanted to not face so much of volatility, and if you wanted to learn and other things, try to look for Nifty and avoid the stock options or in the options which is not having any liquidity. When I say liquidity, so you need to look at the stocks say for example, the Reliance, the SBI, and these guys are okay. But if you're looking at in something which is not even traded at all much, MRF or in some stocks an ACC, all these stocks will not even have any kind of a liquidity. Most of these stock options will be driven by the operators, and I wouldn't prefer you to look at the stock option, especially if you're an option buyer. Most of the stock options are purely used for the hedging purposes. And if, say, for example, if it is due to the results and other things during the period, yes, it can give you a large move. But other than that, in a normal day scenario, if you're looking for a particular stock, it is not going to give you much of a reward if you're an option buyer. In that scenario, it is always preferable to look at the index options, especially Bank Nifty and the Nifty. Even the Fin Nifty, it is a total avoid. So rather than looking at so many strategies, try to master one good strategy. Honestly, if you ask me, in the last 6 years, I've been following only one strategy and focusing on that and then trying to refine it further and further. If I would have been looking at several strategies, then I don't think it is going to be. And many people think that, Shiva, if you're thinking about doing with one strategy, is it going to be giving you rewards all the time? Guys, trust me, if you're just following one strategy, it will give you a reward all the time. Only thing is, you need to know when to play big, when to play small. On days like today, you needed to play big. When you know there are days wherein the market is not going to be moving at all, you cannot be in fighting with the market to give them the premium. It's not going to happen. When the market is moving in your favor, make use of it. When it is not, you needed to stay silent. So how will I know in the beginning of the day itself, is it going to be having a big move, or it is going to be consolidation move, or it is going to be a sideways day? Guys, 90% of the days is going to be a zigzag day. When I say the zigzag, the market is going to inch up a bit and then fall a bit and then inch up and then fall in either side. It can be on the upside or on the downside. So you can think about that. But the IVs was the one which was giving me the clue. Say, for example, on a day like on a Monday or Tuesday, the global markets are flat and our markets is not even reacting, and it opened flat or it opened at in 30, 40 points in the green, and then the Bank Nifty opened 100, 140, 50 points in the green. But your option IVs can give you the clue, especially at the money. Okay, look at the IVs from at the money, 3 strikes above and 3 strikes below on both call and the put. If the IV values are somewhere around 25, 25, 30, 30 on either side, beginning of the day, that itself is giving you a clue. Today it's going to be more of a sideways day wherein only the option premiums are going to be getting eroded. So what is the big clue which I can get from the IVs? Whenever you see a market moving in either on the call side or on the put side, today, say for example, the market is moving lower. In that scenario, I want the IVs to be higher on the put side compared to the call side. What is the clue here? The clue is higher the IV, higher the buyer's possibility of holding their position is going to be there. Imagine today, if the market is moving lower today and the IV values on the call side is going to be higher, then I would definitely avoid it unless and until the market gives me a significant reversal happening. Why? It is a clear indication. Though the sellers are selling the futures, they are allowing the option buyers to buy it on the call side and making them to hold with the frustration. Why? What will happen? Imagine if I'm going to be keep on writing the futures and I'm not creating sufficient positions on the call side and I'm letting the option buyers to keep and come and buy it, the biggest possibility for an option seller is make them frustration. As an option buyer, you know that holding your positions is not going to give you large reward unless the market reverses and move it. That's where many option buyers tends to lose out a lot of money. What they do, they buy it, keep averaging it for the whole day, thinking that no, like an IV is higher, the market is falling, but somewhere I'm going to be getting a reversal. Imagine if the reversal is not coming, higher IV is like in a double-edged sword. If the move is happening in your favor, you will get a large reward. If the move is not happening in your favor, the premium erosion will also be much bigger when the IVs are going to be on the like an higher side. So it's always important. Please stick to one strategy, understand what is that which is going to be giving you an edge, and then follow that. For me, my favorite setup is going to be opening trade. Along with it, I follow the trend strategy. So, what is the opening trade? I look at all the parameters from the previous day action and then how the things have been shaping up. And then, if the market is going to be giving me a reward, I go and take a trade at the opening minute and then try to exit by 9:18. When I say the opening trade, don't try to keep on holding your position. Imagine where did the market close today? The market almost literally didn't close it at the day's low, but it didn't close at day's high as well. They somehow fought for the whole day. And if you go and look at the chart, they both Nifty and the Bank Nifty came and closed near to the VWAP. What is the VWAP? VWAP is nothing but the volume weighted average price of both buyers and sellers who would have bought it and sold it today. So, what is the game that has been played? The game has been played both on the upside and the downside, and then they came and closed it at the VWAP level. That means both buyers and sellers are saying to themselves, okay, we had a decent fight today and we will draw it evens today and then we will come and take the fight tomorrow. In the morning, the bears are holding the ground and I would have been so happy if the bear could have closed it at the day's low, which would have given them a sufficient opportunity for them to short or take the market lower the following day. But the bulls came back pretty strong in the second half. They came and closed it near to the VWAP, which is giving me a conviction that okay, it is not a bad day either on the for the bulls at this juncture. If it had closed it on the a day low, yes, it would have been. Now, what is the next thing which you needed to be looking at? How the US markets are shaping up tonight. Though the FISL volume and other things have been pretty bad, the in US market has been falling now. I believe it is close to a 600-point downtick at this current juncture. Let's say where they close it. The US market is going to be closing somewhere around in 130 or 230 based on their daylight saving time. How they are going to be closing, whether they are going to be closing it at the day's low, if that is going to be the case, yes, that is going to be a negative one. And tomorrow morning, watch out for the Dow Futures. If the Dow Futures is going to be giving you some clue, okay, morning in 5:30 to in 8:39, by the time our market opens, you would have got almost 3 to 4 hours of Dow Futures trading value, which is going to be available to you. Imagine today we are closing 600 points down. The Dow is closing 600 points down. Tomorrow morning, based on some cues which is coming in from the Asian markets and other things, if the Dow futures is going to be trading at 300 or 400 points, I would completely disregard of previous day's action and I would be looking at the current action which is happening in the Dow futures. If it is going to be trading at almost 300 points or 400 points, that means from yesterday's action, you can discount the points and then think that, yes, the market is positioning itself for something wherein they are completely disregarding what are the things which have happened yesterday. In that scenario, I cannot be extremely bearish. Why? First and foremost, our market didn't close it at the day's low. Plus, the Dow futures also has recovered a bit in the morning compared to whatever the fall that has happened. Why? if you'd have seen whatever the things which have happened today, when we handed it over at 3:30, when our market closed at 3:30, the Dow Futures was trading somewhere around 420 or 430 points in the negative. After that, it recovered to 350 odd levels. And now it is trading at 570 odd points in the negative. So that doesn't mean I want you to track it through the day. You can go to sleep, enjoy your good night's sleep, come and wake up in the morning and see what is happening in the market, especially the Dow Futures. You have a good preparation time of 3 to 4 hours before our market opens. And the bigger clue for me will be coming in from the other Asian markets. When I say Asian markets, I will be looking at the Nikkei, Hang Seng, and the China. In my scenario, Nikkei will just replicate whatever the US market is doing because that is a developed market. I would be keen to look at what Hang Seng is doing because that is one of the emerging economies. Usually, Hang Seng has a tendency to react to Dow, and the similar reaction can be seen in our markets as well. So, if you have seen today, even the Hang Seng has fallen like in close to 1%, and our market was the only one which was falling pretty big today. So, tomorrow morning, we will see how these guys are doing it. In case if the Dow falls 700, 800 points tonight, and if the market is also like in having in Dow Futures is also having a 200, 300 point fall tomorrow morning, then don't expect to be bullish. At least expect one round of bearishness to be there. Why? With the way the SIs have been selling aggressively. And one of the key parameters, which I was highlighting it to my mentoring participants as well. I don't know how many of you have observed. In the last, whenever, like in since the Nifty's inception, okay, every year Nifty has gone and touched the 200-day moving average or 200-day like an exponential moving average or whatever it is. It has done it bit every year. Go and look at the Nifty chart for the last 10, 15 years or whatever it is. You would be seeing that Nifty every year would have definitely touched the 200-day moving average. In that scenario, currently, this is the only year wherein the Nifty would not be touching it in case if we are not coming somewhere close to 16,250 odd levels, because the current, like in the 200-day moving average stands at somewhere around 16,270 to 280 odd zones. Currently, the market went to 16,400 odd zones today and then bounced back to 16,600. We are just like in 2 to 3%. So, as I was sharing, so tomorrow morning, the action is going to be purely based on how the Dow is going to be reacting tonight with the way the FIs have been selling and with the way the 200-day moving average is just like in 2-3% away for the Nifty. And this is the first year wherein in case if the Nifty is not going and touching the 200-day moving average, it is going to be like something unusual, right? In the last 20 years, if you have seen the Nifty, every year these guys have gone and hit that level. So some biggies definitely wanted, like, and I don't want to make any exceptions. We will ensure that even this year we will go and hit it. Why we say that it is going to be a possibility? The pure reason is the way these guys have been doing it. The global markets have not been falling. In fact, like the Dow is like in close to all-time highs. The only except the past 2 days they've been falling. But Nifty, we have been correcting steadily from 18,500, and they are ensuring that okay, whatever happens, I'm not going to let it go. I will ensure that that 16,250 to 280 odd zones is going to be touched before December 31st. So market is clearly positioning itself for that. But trust me, on the Bank Nifty, we are already extremely oversold. We have been falling from a level of close to 37,680 the last like in 14th December to now. We have already came to like in level of like in 33,780 odd, like in sorry 34,100 odd zones, and the RSI level stands at 26 at this current juncture, which is extremely oversold on daily territory. So tomorrow, in case if you are getting a big gap down, be careful. We have been falling non-stop for the past 3 days. And with the way the extreme oversold levels, and if the global markets are not going to be supportive, we can expect a strong counter move as well. For that, I would love to see the Nifty going and touching that level of like in 16,280 in a day or two, which is going to be giving me a confidence that yes, at least we can expect one round of a support trade to be done at those levels. So Nifty, it has further room for it to fall because the RSI levels are currently close to 32, and moreover, the selling volumes have been like on an ascending order on a daily bar, which is clearly suggesting me there is a bigger scope for you to have a bigger fall. But when I say the opening trade, I'm preparing myself for all eventualities for tomorrow. If it is going to be like in a market moving in this direction, what is going to be my plan of action? If the market is going to be falling and if the global markets are like in giving me a coup that is going to be negative, what is going to be my plan of action? That is what is important for you to look at for the opening trade setup. Opening trade setup, never ever hold your position beyond 940, 945. If the market is not rewarding you in the opening minutes, it's not going to reward you for the whole day. Yes, it may come back in the late afternoon and other things. But the problem is you would be keep averaging your position, you will be holding it with a bigger loss, and that is going to screw your whole day. Never try to do that. Keep it very simple. If the opening trade is not working out, exit the position, wait for the next trade using the proper trade setup. And the most important thing, I wouldn't be suggesting the opening trades for everyone. Opening trades are like going to be the most risky element. Either you win like in close to 30-40% or you lose 30-40%. If you're an option buyer, if you're not able to accept that like in a profit or loss and then quickly exit your position, 90% of the time you will lose big. I'll also tell you my success ratio. Whenever I have been with the trade, within 3 minutes, my success rate has been 90%. Whenever the same trade goes beyond 30 minutes, I have lost 90% of my trades. And when I like the remaining 10% has given me huge profit, but 90% of my trades have gone into a huge loss whenever I have held my position more than 30 minutes in the morning trade. So always remember, morning trades are most risky, and the most important thing is if it is not giving you the result by 9:30, do not even bother to hold it. And my second favorite setup is follow the trend. What is my follow the trend? I'll be looking for the two candle theory. Once the market gives me an opportunity either on the upside or on the downside, I'll just keep going in the direction unless and until they give a reversal, which is going to be breaking the VWAP with again the volume. Unless and until that happens, I will keep on doing it. If you just follow one good setup, not necessary that you needed to follow only Shiva's setup. Each of you would already be doing certain setup which would have been giving you the result. But what you're doing now, you are going to look for something else. You'll keep looking at, okay, already I'm getting good money in the selling part. Can I go and try option buying? Can I go try like an BTST? Can I go try positional setup? I wouldn't be doing that. If I were you, I wouldn't be doing that. Why? You already have an holy grail in your hand. Why you wanted to keep inventing the wheel rather than keep refining the process what you're already doing? That is what is going to give you a world of confidence. And some of the key things which I want you to remember for the scalping. Don't be an impulsive trader. Being patient is extremely, extremely important for a scalper. When I say extremely important, there are days wherein you would not be getting any kind of a trade till like in 2 to 30. So even the best trade can come at around like in 2 o'clock. You needed to wait. Keep like in some kind of a smiley ball in your hand. If your hands are going to be so itchy that you wanted to keep like in typing it, keep punching the orders, don't do that. Keep a smiley ball in your hand. And the most important thing, any trade which you're going into the trade, play with a stop loss. Imagine if your winning trade is with only 5 lots, your losing trade should also be with only 5 lots. When you're doing a pyramiding on the winning trade, if you're not able to scale up beyond 5, your losing trade should also be scaling down on the like a pyramiding on the downside. It should not cross more than 5 lots. Always ride with the trend. Never try to go against doing them like a counter trend move. When I say counter trend move, say for example, the market would be falling today, the RSI would have gone to like an 20 and below 17, 18. What many traders do is they do an RSI divergence trade on the options, which is strictly a no. Why? In the past, I've lost big. When I say big, I would have entered at a particular level thinking that the market has already been oversold. Now I can buy a call. Can I buy it like in a 400? Okay. And it should the option premium on the call side will further go to 300, further go to 200, and still I would be holding my position thinking that if there is going to be a reversal on the RSI factor, it is going to be giving me a result. How many of you did that mistake today? Many of you would have did that, right? Many of you would have went on the call side thinking that the market is oversold, and then you would have bought a call thinking that it is going to be a bounce, whereas you would have been seeing in right in front of your eyes the premiums are melting. The reason is option buyers are going to be losing the money to the sellers because they know, guys, you guys are at the mercy of us. More you're going to be buying from us, more the quantity which I'm going to be flooding in the option buyings, on the call side, you have no other choice other than to sell it at a lower price from the price at which you bought it. So that's the reason always ride with the trend. Once it is above your buy price, trail your profits. Another important element for a scalper. If it is above your BEP, that is the break even price, try to trail it. And always adjust the risk and take trades only with the trend. When I say adjust the risk, what is that? Imagine you have a capital of 1 lakh. Never try to deploy more than 30% in a single trade. Why you should not be deploying more than 30% in a single trade? Imagine if the trade doesn't go in your favor. You may lose like in 3 to 5% in the trade. Okay, worst case scenario. The market is quickly like in moving, jumping your stop losses, and you're like not able to exit the position. You're losing 5% of your capital on that. If you had deployed almost 100% of your capital, you would have lost close to 30% in that trade. Imagine recovering this 5%. For that, you needed some kind of a capital to back up. 90% of the traders, what they do, whatever the trade that they go in, we deploy our entire capital in that trade. Then you are at the mercy thinking that the market has to give you the like a move, whatever the move which you have bought it. And you will be started biased towards that position. What you will do, you would have bought a call today and you would go look for all possible like in positive outcomes. What are the things today like in the traders were like in tweeting? FM meeting at like in 3 o'clock. PM meeting the like in the major the bank holes or like in the FIs and others at 4 p.m. These are all the signs wherein the traders are like in buyers based on their position. The mindset is automatically getting corrupted. You're not looking at the data. You are now thinking that can I get some positive news somewhere from the like in portals? Is this positive news is going to be giving me a large move? Those are the things which is very, very risky. Never do that. Instead, what are the things which is in your control? What is that which is in your control? Never deploy more than 30% of your capital in a single trade. And keep a simple target of 1%. Just try achieving that. Even with 30% capital, I'm talking about achieving the 1% capital like in profit on your overall capital. Okay, so you can still do that. Always look for patterns and change accordingly. What is patterns which I'm talking about? When I say patterns, there will be a period wherein the option buyers will be able to make money. There will be a period where sellers will be able to make money. There will be a period where the short straddle guys or the long straddle guys, they will be able to make money. We needed to understand what kind of period we are in. The same logic and the same method which you have been using will not work on every day. But over a period of time, if you know how to adapt to the situation, one setup is more than sufficient for you to run through all through the year. Why I say that? There are days wherein you would be able to make 4-5% return. There are days wherein you will not be able to make even a single percent return. You needed to stay shut on that particular day. And when the day is absolutely belonging to you, make use of it. Make hay while sun shines and stay light when the things are not working in your favor. Most important thing, understand the patterns. What is a pattern? Imagine every day you go to the bathroom, you wake up, go to the bathroom, you will see like a toothbrush and you will see the paste and everything, and then you will be like brushing your teeth and then like washing your face and then come and read the newspaper or have a sip of coffee. That's what we do at night. Imagine one fine day you're getting up, going to the bathroom, and then you take the brush. Unfortunately, you don't find the toothpaste. Next thing, you're opening the tap, the water is not coming out. Then you're going down, the gas is not there to have a coffee. What has happened here? Your pattern and the daily routine has changed here. What has happened here? Your mind will not be able to accept it because you were like in wanting to have a coffee, you wanted to brush your teeth, you wanted to wash your face. That is your daily routine. The market also does the same thing. What they do every day, the market moves in a direction, and then in the afternoon, they do a reversal similar to what they did today. So, what you're used to it, you're used to a pattern. You buy it, buying the dip, keep buying the dip, keep buying the dip. In the second half, they give you a pullback, and then you came out successfully. Today, like I bought, keep buying the dips, and somehow, like in the second half, I got an exit. You will do the same thing for 5 days, 10 days. One fine day, You know that like in every day you're deploying like in 20% capital, 30% capital, and the market has been giving you a reward. One fine day, you will be buying the same logic, you will apply the same things, but the market will not be giving you the reward because that particular day, your toothbrush is gone, your toothpaste is gone, your coffee is gone. And that is the day you will blow your account. Why I say that you will be blowing your account? Because you will be thinking that the same pattern is going to be getting followed today and you will keep on averaging it. Without even your sense, you would have averaged your 100% of your capital. So that's the reason always look for patterns and how to overcome this. You will see a loss making day. Because why you will be making a loss? You would have followed the same process, and if you're making a loss today, that means there is some change which has happened, which you have been following, which the system has not been able to do it today. Then take a step back, reduce your position sizing, see what is happening. If you are not able to do it after like in 2-3 days. Take a break. There is nothing wrong in it. I have had like in consecutive like in 4 or 5 days of like in non-stop like in losses. Then what I do, I take a step back, look at what has happened in the market. What is that which I've been doing last week to this week? Why the things are not working? Then you will understand, okay, these guys have changed certain things. Now the premiums are not moving. Instead, the premiums are melting every day. And the premium prices are not moving. The option futures are not moving. Everything not moving at all. So you needed to understand that and then try to do that. And most important thing, always use the terminals which are user friendly and you are comfortable with. Say, for example, even if you're a scalper and you wanted to like enter something, some quantity, if you're not comfortable with the like a platform, you will not be able to properly execute it. As a scalper, you need the timely execution is very important. And on a 3 minute or a 5 minute time frame, every second count. If you are going to be even delaying your trade execution by 30 seconds, by the time the move could have completely happened, I would have entered and exited by the time you would be thinking that should I enter or not. Your mind was already frozen and you would be thinking, oh no, man, already price has moved from 15 to 20 rupees. By the time you react, it would have moved another 30 rupees. Then you'll be wondering, oh no, I should have entered at 300. Now already it is 350. I should have like entered. Then instead of waiting for the next opportunity, it would have gone to 360 where the entire move would have happened and you would have gone and entered at 360, which is going to be a high. Then once it is on the way down, coming to 330 and 320, you would be like searching for your keypad and keyboard to like place your stop loss. By the time it will go to 300, you will panic and you will try to do a market order wherein if your quantity is higher, the slippage is going to be higher and you will lose a lot of money on that trade as well. So that is the reason why I ask you to be like choose a like a trading terminal which is user friendly. And the last thing, when you're looking at for the key things for a scalper, don't put all eggs in one basket. When I say all eggs in one basket, there are two advantages for this. First and foremost, on a day like today I think after 2 o'clock, many people have been complaining zero the hang, zero the froze, and other things. Imagine if you're already in a position, you would be in a loss or in a profit, whatever, no matter what it is. And if you are a person who wanted to enter a fresh trade, due to this issue, you would not have been able to enter it. So that's the reason I prefer having multiple accounts with multiple brokers. Don't try to have only one set of broker. The reason is, even if one goes down, you have an opportunity for you to trade in another broker. Imagine if it is NSE which is going to be down and the entire set of brokers is going to be down, that's a different ballgame. But there are days nowadays like either like Zerodha goes down, Upstocks goes down, or some other broker going down, and you have a different alternative for you to trade. And another thing, why I don't want you to put all eggs in one basket. We have a tendency, right? Our human mind is not going to be like in control. We have a tendency, once the trade goes in your favor, you're not going to be like an averaging your position, you will exit profit quickly. But if the trade goes against you, what is your immediate thinking? Somehow you wanted to recover the entire loss today itself. In that process, you will keep on averaging without even realizing how much ever capital you had, you would have put in entire money. The writers will be absolutely at the they would be looking for a person like you because they know you are going to be keep feeding them the whole day. So that's the reason I insist. Imagine if you are having like a 10 lakh capital, keep 3 lakh in 3 different accounts. So you can use one trade in a one account, make money, close the trade, and then move on to the next system, which is going to be another useful one. The reason is when you're making money, our immediate thinking is, let's say, for example, when you're having like a 10 lakh capital, you have made 10,000 in the morning, and you're seeing like around 11:30, 12, you're getting another opportunity, golden opportunity, which you feel it is going to be giving you another 10,000 trade. You're entering it. Unfortunately, the trade goes against you. Your 10,000 profit goes to 5,000 profit. You know what is going to be your mind thinking? Your mind will be telling you, Shiva, you had 10,000 profit like in 30 minutes back. Now you're lost 5,000. Somehow, why don't you get that 5,000 back? Without even you realizing, you will be entering into a second trade where you are not fighting with your heart, you're fighting with your mind. Your mind says, Shiva, go and take a second trade. So in that process, what you will do, you will also go end up taking a trade which you should not be doing it, and this 5,000 is also gone. And now your mind will be saying, "Oh shit, man! Whatever the money which I have made in the morning, now I have lost everything. Now what I will do is, I will go at least recover my brokerage cost. In the process of recovering the brokerage cost, without even you realizing, again lose some more. You would have lost another 5K or like a 10K, or you will be trying to do a revenge trade. What is a revenge trade? Then comes the biggest part. Every trader in the like in world would be doing it. What is that? Now, myself or the market. I will prove the market is wrong. I am always right. What is that you will do? The market will be going in an upside direction. You will be going and buying and put, continuously averaging it, thinking that somewhere the market is going to be falling and it is going to be rewarding. The entire world is going to be like an on one side. You are thinking that I'm going to be pulling the market down and I'm going to be buying, keep buying puts. What would happen by the end of the day? You would have lost 40, 50, 60% of the capital. Imagine if you'd have had the money in multiple accounts. If you'd have made money in the morning in one account, closing the terminal, moving on to the next one, thinking that the day is starting fresh for you. And I'm going to be taking a trade only when the trade is opportunity is available. This I would not be recommending to traders who are having less than 1 lakh capital. I would recommend this for people who are having more than 5 lakh, 10 lakh capital. They can hold the money in multiple accounts with multiple brokers. One way, even if the broker terminal, one broker goes down, you have an opportunity to trade in one. Another thing is, whenever you're starting a particular trading terminal, your mind will always be fresh. And you will be thinking that unless and until I get a proper setup for this particular account, I'm not going to get into a trade. Biggest advantage is, whatever the money which you have made in one particular account, it is going to be getting protected. Why I say that? Because you have closed the terminal and you know there is 5,000 or 10,000 which I have done it on that particular account. It is safe and sound. And most important thing, what I follow as a stop loss rule, I keep my previous day profit as my stop loss. As an option buyer, that's the biggest advantage which I felt which has happened to me in the last 5 years. Why is that? Imagine as an option buyer, we always try to uh, fool the sellers and then try to take the money from them. In that scenario, 90% of the option buyers lose money. Why? Because the sellers are the ones who are going to be creating the positions and they are not going to be selling a product which they know I needed to buy it back from the buyers at one day, and I wanted the buyer to give it to me at a lesser cost. So as an option buyer, you needed to know how to and fool them and then make money, because you're purchasing a product from the sellers. You will use the product and give it back to the sellers at a bigger cost, right? That is what the buyer's job is. So if you're doing that, you needed to be very smart, and at the same time you needed to know what is going to be your stop loss. Imagine as an option buyer, whenever you place a stop loss at 5%, 10%, it is going to be immediately triggering it and then moving, the price is going to be moving higher. 90% of you would be complaining to me, Shiva, I bought it at 300. I placed my stop loss at 270. It triggered exactly my 270 and then it went to 400. Are they knowing that you have placed a stop loss at 270? No. The system is designed, and the way you are going to be doing it, it is going to be happening. From 300, the option price can go to 10, and then from 10, it can move to 400 also. That's the way the fluctuation and the volatility is going to be there. So what I did is, what are the profit which I made as previous day profit, that I'm going to be using as a profit, in stop loss beginning of the day. As the days goes, in case if I had made money today, then keep my yesterday's profit protected and send to the bank, and use whatever profit which I made today as my stop loss. In that scenario, your mind is going to be always positive. Why? First and foremost, your mind, beginning of the day, going to be thinking, sure, you're not going to be risking anything of your capital. You're going to be risking only something which you earned yesterday. Imagine if I had made a loss yesterday, then I would be using 10% of my deployed capital as my stop loss. 10% of my deployed capital as my stop loss. But either way, your mind is already prepared. What is that which you wanted to get into the market today and how much you are willing to lose? Always remember, if you are just going to be keep thinking that no, every day I'm coming into the market, I only wanted to win, that's not going to happen. We needed to prepare ourselves. Whatever the money that we are going to be bringing into the market, we are afford to lose it. If you are not going to bring any money that you cannot afford to lose, do not even come into the market and play in the FNO. It's as simple as that. These are like in some of the rules which I want you to do it. And though many people think that like an what is it, like in what is it, trading, FNO trading is all like an attractive. It is going to be giving you attractive returns and other things. They do not know the inner pain what each and every trader goes through. Each of you will know what are the pains which you have been going through. Each of you wanted to succeed. You wanted a passive income and everything, but you know somewhere in deep inside, it's not the money or the like an strategy which is not helping you. It is purely your mind and your execution which is what letting you down. When you wanted to enter, you would not have entered. When you wanted to exit, you would not have exited. If you are able to control that, bring that discipline, I'm pretty sure most of you will be like and really succeeding in your trading journey. And the most important thing as an option buyer and a scalper, never ever play in the OTM. What is OTM? For like in the market terminology is out of the money, call or puts, but I call it out of the market. If you're going to be option buyer and who's going to be playing on like an out of the money, it is like in buying a lottery ticket. Out of 10 times or 100 times, you may win once, but 99% of the time you will lose. So never ever try and go your luck in the OTMs, which is not an ideal thing. Playing in the money and at the money, especially if it is going to be on Friday and Monday, playing at the money makes sense. If it is going to be Tuesday and Wednesday, playing in the money makes sense. OTMs are going to be just for a hero or zero, wherein I would be using only like in 5% or 10% of my profit to see whether it is working out. It is not going to be a trade wherein you can use your capital to trade. So avoid it. 90% of the retail community, why they lose in the option buying is purely because they go and buy OTM strikes, thinking that quantity what matters rather than the quality. For me, quality is at the money and in the money. Quantity is OTM, which usually you are feeding into the sellers. Never do that. So if you're able to follow all these processes, definitely yes, you all will be able to shine. And these are like in simple techniques. And just like in more than anything, having the right mindset, that's what is going to set you apart. So keep this in mind. Okay. So never let yourself down. Come with a positive attitude. The market is going to be like in a lonely profession. The trader's job is the most difficult job in the world. The reason why I say it is because you are going to be your own boss. No one there to question you. Only thing is either be it like in a huge profit, be it a huge loss. It is you who needed to keep it with yourself. How many of you have like in express whenever you are having a huge profit with your family members? You will not be able to do it. Why? Because you would have had a big loss in the past. And what if I go and say that like and I had a profit, then they will be asking me how much money so far you have accumulated. But you have lost something and you're trying to the verge of like getting it. There are days wherein you would have lost big. Even then, you would have been frustrated to break the laptop or like and break the table and other things. But you can't do that because then your family will know and they will ask you to quit trading. Right? So if you are able to understand this, and trading, it is not like a one day's job. It is not 1 week's job. It is an ongoing journey. If someone who wanted to be successful, if you feel that no, I wanted to be there in the market, being a trader and so on, it is going to be an ongoing journey. Try to stick around for a longer time. So with that, I know I've given you snippets, which was supposed to be for 1 hour. So look forward to like an interacting with you all in another wonderful session. And I believe like in the learn and trade, what they have been doing to like bring like in various speakers to give you guys various ideas about how each of these like can work. So I believe like this is going to set a benchmark for all of you to learn and like and get to learn about the other strategies as well. But choose what suits you. Not necessarily just because you have attended Shiva, you needed to follow Shiva. No, there may be few traders which may feel that like in scalping suits me. There may be few traders who will feel no. For me, positional strategy suits me. Stick to what suits you rather than jumping from one place to another. Okay, that is the most important thing. So unless and until you have the zeal and the passion, no one can force you to do something. It is you who needed to decide what suits you and then keep achieving it. And keep the small targets, keep achieving it consistently over a period of time. You would have definitely compounded your wealth in a big manner. Okay, with that, we come to conclusion of today's session, and I just hand it over to
Yes, sir. Yes, first of all, hats off to your energy level, sir. Non-stop, you have been sharing whatever the knowledge you have been planned to share. First of all, thank you for accepting the invitation and joining the Twitter space. If I'm not wrong, is this your first Twitter space, sir?
No. Like, and I think it is third or the fourth, but
Okay,
it's good actually.
fine enough. Fine enough, sir. Thank you so much for just accepting the invitation, and almost 800 plus traders were there. I believe today's session was useful to you and you would have gained something new. I don't know how many are doing option scalping, and but so far I know in this Twitter platform, one of the best option scalper which I have gone through is Shiva sir. So that is main reason I've invited him to be as a part of the Twitter space. So once again, thank you so much, sir. I think my time is almost 9:10. I might not take anyone's question now. If anyone have any question regarding anything regarding the options scalping, make sure to post your questions in the Twitter. I will request Shiva sir to answer those questions if time permits you, sir. Not now, anyway, whenever you get free time.
Yes, I will do that. And you guys have my Twitter ID. It is just Shiva123. So you can post your questions. I will definitely try to answer them in the upcoming days.
Okay. So yes, once again, hats off to everyone who just stay connected in this session for the last more than 1 hour, in between 2-3 disconnectivity, but still traders connected, stayed in this session. So make sure to learn, sir. Very simple. The process which I am trying to do is learn to trade. Okay. It's your style. As Shiva has told, no one is forcing you to do scalping, or no one is forcing you to do positional or intraday trading. Try to make sure to come to a conclusion what suits you, what style of trading suits you. And as Shiva has stated one thing, stick to limited trading strategy and try to follow it and work it out how in different market condition how things work out and how things play out. Okay, so we'll meet you all again in yet another Twitter space with some other different traders. And also, Siva sir, one more request: even after few days or few months, if you do one more Twitter space, if you allow it, it will be more powerful and more honor for us, sir.
Definitely, yes. We will do that. And probably like next time, I will work on the psychology part,
Yes.
which is something which that traders feel like and should be knowing how they needed to be playing using their psychology. So we'll definitely like and work on that.
Okay,
No problem.
for sure, sir. Thank you so much.